Right, YouTube. Thought I'd best do an update vid. It's been a few months. I think when we left off, we had the engine in a million pieces on this. Got it all back together, or Josh did. Went to the dyno, and success. No more power falling off after 7 grand. So, we're not 100% sure what it was exactly. Obviously, like I said in the last vid, we put a brand new head on it. Well, brand new to us. Had it skimmed. We had the block decked. The block was a long way out between cylinders. So I think that was most of the problem. But that don't really... Like we even had this problem at the start of the year before we did the head gasket. So it's a bit hard to say. But anyway, RSP head, freshly skimmed, freshly decked block. We left the stock RSP valve springs in it, just in case Josh's combination of valve springs he'd used was an issue. And yeah, it did 430 wheel horse at 17 psi. So it did 20 wheel horse more at 4 psi less boost. So yeah, all good. And like basically up top we had like probably 60 horsepower more, something like that. So yeah, went really good. Snetterton, yeah, he won both races. And then the last race at Thruxton, we didn't have a very good qualifying because we had a drive shaft fail. Well, it kind of like popped out and stripped the end off as it wasn't fully out. It just like damaged the splines at the end. So we was like 11th on the grid. But we went out in the first race. I think he was on A52s in the first race. It was a bit wet. So he struggled at first, and then as the track dried, his tyres came into him, and he ended up 2/10, I think, off the lead, off the guy that won in an RS 500. So yeah, it was a good, really good race. It's good to watch. It's on the, there was a live stream of that event. So if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube on the, I think it was Alpha Live, or it'll be on the BRSCC page. And then in the second race, early Sunday morning, it was wet again, but we got the Michelin P2L, are they called? Like they're a proper, like, well, not a proper wet, they're like an intermediate, I think. But yeah, we had mad rush to get them on. Just managed it with seconds to spare. And Josh said it was just like it was fully dry with the proper tyres on. Yeah, and he just drove away from everyone. I think he won by like 20 seconds or something. So yeah, that was good. So we did all we could. We needed other results to go our way to win the overall championship. We won Class B in the end. I think Nick had an engine failure on the first race, so he was out of the contention for the class. The overall championship was against a Class C car, I think it was. And basically what happened was, in the second race, there wasn't enough entrants in his class for him to get maximum points. So he could only get half points. And we obviously got full points. So that means we took the championship overall, which is amazing. All subject to confirmation still, but we think it's correct. So yeah, that's that. So as for what's next with this, don't really know. Funding is an issue. We've done 3 years basically funding it ourselves, and Josh basically on his own this year funding it. So we're kind of out of money basically. Now, I'd like to see the car go into time attack. and just get some outright front wheel drive records at various tracks. I think it would beat BTCC times. If we went into time attack, we'd be able to do bigger wing or add an extra element to the wing. We'd be able to do a bigger splitter because this one is about dead now. There's still more weight to get out of this, really. It still has glass screen. So yeah, I'd like to see it go into time attack, but like I say, it's all budget dependent. The other thing to go for maybe is they do I think it's called the Liqui Moly Slicks Championship. So basically it's a 45-minute race like road sports, but more like Thunder's rules. So big power, whatever weight you want. I think that'd be good. Whether the car can do 45 minutes at this sort of power remains to be seen, but that's another option. There is a way of going to get more power out of this fairly simply. There's a guy in Australia that does... Goddamn compressors, come on. Hang on a sec. Yeah, there's a guy in Australia that made, after a lot of research and testing, I'm guessing, he got some camshafts made specifically for Rotrex cars, and at this sort of power level they give about 100 brake horse, believe it or not. So yeah, we could get them, maybe be well over 500 wheel horse, and then that means we could knock back the boost. Possibly make it more reliable, because we are boost limited with still being an open deck block. But yeah, that's another option. Obviously in time attack that would be beneficial, because the class we'd be in time attack is, I don't know if it's club pro or just pro, but basically it's all the sequential evers, you know, 1,000 brake horse. There's nothing else front wheel drive in those classes, so we would definitely be up against it, and probably a fair way off. But it'd still be good to go and do the lap times and stuff, like I say, and try and break some front wheel drive records. So yeah, that's where we are. We'll see what winter brings. See if we get any sponsorship offers, or like I say, we just really need funds to get it onto the grid. Yokohama, UK, have kindly offered us some tyres, so that sort of solves that problem. It'd just be literally money getting it onto the grid. Developing the car, okay, we'd probably have to fund that ourselves. But yeah, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, you'll probably spot that Dave Blackie's M3 is in here. So Josh and Dave are planning to do some endurance racing next year, I think. Club Enduro possibly. And with that in mind, they are doing the last round of Club Enduro this coming weekend. So Dave brought the car here and Josh has been doing some work on it to make it basically ready for 2-hour races and things. So there's a big fuel cell in it now. It's not finished yet, as you can imagine, like always, last minute. Josh has designed a new front splitter for it. But yeah, still work in progress. But yeah, all being well, they'll be racing in road sports and Club Enduro this weekend on Donington GP. So the track was at the start of this year, so Josh should have his eye in, and so should Dave for that matter, because he did that round as well. Anything else to report? I don't think there is. Not touched the P10. Just sat waiting patiently for Josh to have time to weld that roll cage in. I have been doing some bits to the 3rd gen. we started on the Aero. If you can see that, it's a bit dark. That is the start of a diffuser, just a simple one. Maybe in the future I'll get Josh to make me one like that's on the EG. But yeah, got them. We've got some side skirts in case we do a flat floor. And I spent a couple of weekends making air dam and splitter. This is the old one off the EG, so it has splitter tunnels in it. Yeah, I don't know else. I can't think what else I've shown. I've got a few more bits done. Got a floor plate in, rev counter. I did actually space these wings out a bit more, but I think they're a bit too wide now, so I may need to alter that bracket. But we'll see. Yeah, there's batteries in, and that fuel cell's in, roughly. I may end up redoing that, because if I'm going to do some time attack, it needs to be inside an aluminium box and stuff, so, but we'll see. But yeah, that's basically it. Like I say, this is very short at the minute, but we've got the old flat floor off the EG before Josh redid it in carbon upstairs. So I'm thinking we could maybe repurpose that for this, but we'll see. Let's do some testing first, see what's what. So I'd really like to avoid running some big spoiler other than this one. So any downforce I'd like to generate from a diffuser. Like I say, this is just a basic thing for testing. We'll see what's what. But yeah, that'll do for now then. I don't know when the next update will be, but middle of winter no doubt. See you next time.